And it is not just Bucha. As Russian forces retreat or fought back, Ukrainian officials are getting a clearer look at what Russian soldiers have done to Ukrainian cities and its people. Earlier, I spoke with former Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko, who just toured the biggest city the Ukrainians have so far liberated. Mr. President, thank you for joining us. I understand that you just got back from Chernihiv. What did you see there?
70% of the buildings are destroyed by Russian artillery fire, by Russian air bomb, and by Russian missiles. And most of the ruined houses is in the residential area, where we have only the residential building, the schools, and the hospitals. And all of them are destroyed. And people without water, without electricity, without food, and under the very cold condition. Yesterday was the first day when we have a secure access to the city of Chernihiv, and with that situation, more than 700 people were killed, civilian people were killed by Russian artillery, tank fire. Russia's army don't have a chance, and we never give up. And I call Ukraine's international partners to return Ukraine, to renew the full-fledged activity of its embassy in Kiev. Kiev now is secure. I spent here 43 days of war. And now it's the time to return the embassies. Now it's the time to return the leaders of the world to be in Kiev, to demonstrate the solidarity, and it wages war of conquest. And I call Ukrainian international partners definitely also to return their activity, full-fledged activity in Kiev. This is the symbol of our common struggle and coming victory of the Russian aggression. I call the leaders of US, the leaders of the collective West, to be shoulder to shoulder with us here physically. And Bucha massacre demonstrated that Putin wants Ukrainians to be dead. This is the field that we don't have a compromise. He want to kill us, and we simply want to live. He want to erase Ukraine from the world map, and we want to have our European future for our state. And Russia has weaponized the energy against Ukraine for decades. And now it's time for the EU to weaponize energy against Russia. And please implement the embargo of oil, gas, coal now. Because can you imagine that from the beginning of the war, $35 billion the West paid to Russia only for the energy resources. And that means every single day, Russia receives enough money for the new 300 tanks, for the new 200 cruise missiles of Iskander or Caliber, and this is definitely not accepted.
You say that Bucha and the massacre there has changed the nature of the war. You're talking about more sanctions. You're talking about banning energy. There is discussion of that among EU countries, but not everybody's on the same page. Most notably, Germany has expressed some discomfort with that. There's a feeling that it might hurt Europe more than it hurts Russia. What's your counter message to that?
I think that Bucha massacre has become the latest proof of the Putin regime international crimes in Ukraine. And if you want to be together with Putin, be the co-sponsor of the war crimes, this is the decision to block the sanction. And Putin declared the war not to Ukraine. Putin declared the war to you, to all of us. And such place are not only Bucha, such place as Bucha is many around Ukraine. And after Bucha, I can imagine what's happening in Mariupol, what's happening in Borodyanka, what's happening in Gostomel, what's happening in Akhtirka. Can you imagine? This is the several dozens of the places where hundreds of Ukrainian civilians were killed. And this is very similar, by the way. If we need to give an answer to Germany, this is exactly similar how it was the situation in Dresden in World War II. And with this situation, the position is that everybody should be united. The world should demonstrate solidarity with Ukraine and don't be together with Putin as a military crime. We never accept that. And Bucha massacre will be forever in the world history as the symbol of the blood bachelor Putin.
You mentioned Dresden, one of the most famous bombing campaigns. Germans certainly know it well. I want to ask you, though, American intelligence has said that they believe that this war is going to last a long time, months, maybe years. What does Ukraine need from the West to keep on fighting, to keep beating back Russian soldiers? And is there something that you think the West can do to help you end the war and kick them out for good?
First of all, the stronger would be the pressure on Putin, the shorter would be war. My message is absolutely following. The shortest way to the peace is giving Ukraine more weapons. What Ukraine needs the most? 3 words. Weapons, weapons, and weapons. First weapons is the defensive lethal weapons, including but not limited to tanks, jet fighter, anti-tank, and anti-aircraft system, because can you imagine that our victory can depend from couple hundred tanks, from 500 armed personnel carrier, and from 200 anti-aircraft missiles. Such a short distance to peace. Second weapons, more sanction against Russia. This is exactly the way how West going right now. Every day, new sanction. We should push to Putin to bring him to peace. Sanction before and after Bucha massacre shall be completely different. That would be not hell sanction, but devastating sanction who should absolutely destroy the Russian economy. And third weapons, isolation. Russia shall find itself in a complete isolation worldwide. No loopholes. The economic, energy, international, social isolation. Russia should become a North Korea unless Putin change his behavior. And with that situation, the way to the peace would be significantly shorter. But another message, Ukraine never give up. And Ukraine, we send a message that Putin gets out of Ukraine with no more challenge to peace, stability, security of united Europe and to the whole free world.